I chose medical keto, which is way more intense than your TikTok version of keto. My stomach hates food and it hates me. Like, I eat something one day and it makes me so sick. The next day I can eat the leftovers and I'm fine. Like, I stopped eating out a long time ago. Every once in a while I will go to a restaurant. I usually regret it, so I tend to just make everything at home. And like my mom thinks it's so cool because basically I'm like a trad wife, like a modern day trad wife. It's so crazy because it's kind of like the beginning of my gut that does it, because within 30 to 60 minutes of eating, I'm just like purging everything in my body, like purges. Like, here's TikTok level ketosis, and then here's medical level ketosis, and then here's like danger zone, right? I literally bought a Gatorade and dumped salt in it and chugged it. Mentally, I was wrecked. I was so scared to go to sleep because falling asleep feels like what that feeling was. This is the unfiltered truth about my first week in keto. Side note, I am not a doctor or in the medical field. I am not a dietitian, anything like that. This video is purely my experience. And if you can relate to it and it helps you, I hope it does. But if not, if you're just here for entertainment, that's cool too. But this is my life, and I am a YouTuber mostly, if you know. But I'm a YouTuber and I give you guys the truth and real life situations on my channel. Unlike a lot of the YouTubers out here today, we're not going to mention names, biscuits are being made. So let's get into it. Why did I choose keto? I didn't just choose keto, I chose medical keto, which is way more intense than your TikTok version of keto. Oh no, is there a blanket monster? That being said, my journey has not been fun. I've literally only done 1 week, and we'll get into that. I've done 1 week, it did not go well. I quit for a few days, and now I'm getting back into it slowly. Let me explain. Let's rewind a bit, but first, let's hydrate. Keto has me beyond thirsty. Like, the most thirsty I've ever been in my whole life thirsty. This is lemon lime with salt. So basically a DIY electrolyte, water, lemon lime salt water. This is one of the many salty drinks that I drink a day. The salt is necessary because on keto you deplete everything. We'll get into that. Let's rewind. So my whole life, I've been a little on the chunky side. No, don't bite the microphone. I love you too. If you don't know, this is Zane. He is my baby cat. He's 2.5, so very much in his toddler era still. Okay, so my whole life I have been a little chunky, and I have tried many ways to lose weight. I was on Weight Watchers for years. I can't even tell you. I think it was like 3 or 4 years I was on Weight Watchers. At first, I followed it really, really closely, and I didn't lose a single pound. I didn't gain, but I didn't lose. Like, okay, well, whatever. So I just stopped doing it so like intensely and just kind of casually did Weight Watchers. And then I had a personal trainer for over a year and didn't lose a single pound. Didn't gain, but didn't lose. I was just maintaining my weight for years, like probably a decade. Also, I did like the high protein, low carb diet. That's kind of what I stuck with after Weight Watchers, following the high protein, low carb diet. And then last year, I got tired of everything, right? Because I was having a lot of stomach issues, and I have my whole life. Like, a lot of stomach issues. My stomach hates food and it hates me. Like, I eat something one day and it makes me so sick. The next day I can eat the leftovers and I'm fine. Like, it just picks and chooses when it wants to be upset. And so I knew that there was something really going on, and I'm like, I'm so tired of it. I'm too old to be having this many stomach issues. Like, it's not normal. So last year I went to the doctor and found out I was pre-diabetic. And then, okay, I don't want to be a diabetic, right? Even though like a lot of people in my family are diabetic and I'm probably going to end up diabetic, whatever. I was like, let me turn this boat around before I get really deep into diabetes. My doctor was like running a bunch of tests and stuff like that. And eventually I got on Mounjaro, which was cool. I was on Mounjaro for about 6 months and I didn't get above 7.5 milligrams. It goes up to like 15, I believe. So basically, I was taking half the dose. And 7.5 milligrams in 6 months, and I lost 40 pounds. I'm like, hallelujah, something is working, right? And it was like the Mounjaro was more than the weight loss. Like, it fixed my stomach issues. I was actually able to enjoy food, which was so new to me because I've never enjoyed food. And food to me, like I said, always made me sick. I have a lot of sensory aversions, like especially to texture and smell. So, like, a lot of things just, I don't want that. And then on top of that, like, I was just so scared of being sick all the time. Like, I stopped eating out a long time ago. Every once in a while, I will go to a restaurant. I usually regret it. So, I tend to just make everything at home. And like my mom thinks it's so cool because basically I'm like a trad wife, like a modern day trad wife, because I make everything from scratch and just making things myself lets me be in control. And I generally don't get sick if I make it myself. Now, if other people cook or the restaurant or like whatever, like I get really sick. And it's so crazy because it's kind of like the beginning of my gut that does it because within 30 to 60 minutes of eating, I'm just like purging. Everything in my body like purges. Once I'm done purging, then I'm able to be normal again. Like once whatever's in my stomach gets out, I'm good. And so that's like a big red flag to me because I'm like, okay, so I know it's upper GI, it's in my stomach. Like, I need to figure this out. Okay, so long story short, I was on Mounjaro. It fixed everything. I was finally able to enjoy food. Okay, cool. Then if I switch jobs, my new insurance won't cover it at all. I'm like, okay, so we tried different things. We tried all of the medications, GLP ones or whatever they're called. I have a shark tunnel down there, and Zaina's now in there taking a nap. So that's what that noise was, if you even heard it. So since I wasn't able to get the medicine anymore, and also I found out that I'm no longer pre-diabetic, which great news. Okay, something's working, right? Was it the medicine? Was it the weight loss? Who really knows? And the one thing I was most scared about coming off of the Mounjaro was the sickness from food again. Like, it's kind of traumatizing. When I got off of Mounjaro and I was off of it for like 3 weeks and I lost another 5 pounds. So like the fact that I didn't gain, but I lost, I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe I can fix this without the medicine. I do think the Mounjaro was a band-aid and that it only temporarily fixed the issue without actually fixing the issue. Does that make sense? It was definitely a band-aid. And so I'm like, okay, my insurance won't cover it, but they're covering this program called Medical Keto. I don't really want to put the name out there. I will put on the screen like a list of similar companies. I'm not sponsored. I'm not paying a dime for this service. It's free through my insurance and through my company and stuff like that. I'm very grateful for it, but I'm also not advertising them either. So, anyways, I decided to do this medical keto to see if I can fix the issues. And on paper, it should be easy, right? I'm already high protein, low carb ish. Definitely not low carb compared to keto, but pretty low carb. So I'm like, it should be easy. I don't think I'm going to have a huge transition. I go ahead and sign up for it. It took like a few weeks to get accepted into the program. You have to get blood drawn. You have to talk to a coach. You have to talk to a doctor. Like, you have to interview basically to get into this program. And then they take a while to decide if you're eligible or not. So it was like a whole process. During that process, I hurt my shoulder and I have left shoulder tendinitis. No, bursitis with possible tendinitis. I don't know. Basically, I was doing yoga, really hurt my shoulder. I'm still healing from that. I did get a cortisone shot, and I probably should have been back to the doctor, but I'm still just trying to deal with it on my own. Well, that being said, I've been really babying the shoulder, and then I get an ear infection in my right ear. Okay, can anything else go wrong? So they give me amoxicillin. My stomach doesn't do good on any antibiotics. It makes me feel worse on the antibiotics. Like, my microbiome is like really messed up. Okay. So I'm like, whatever. It's going to make me sick anyway. Just give me the amoxicillin. Let's get over this ear infection. And then, so her shoulder, ear infection, antibiotic, start medical keto. And then my period comes a week early. Like, I'm a freaking train wreck in the making, okay? And I'm pretty sure, I've never been tested for it, but I have all the symptoms, so I'm pretty sure I have PCOS. Like, my periods are outrageous. And talking to the doctor, I'm like, this is not normal. She says it's not normal. Long story short, that doctor is no longer my doctor because there was like a lot of chaos, and I'm just not about that. And I have yet to find me another primary because the waiting list is like months long. So we're just kind of figuring this out on my own as well. Lots of research, tons of mistakes, figuring it out on my own. Anyways, ear infection, shoulder, period, trying to start medical keto, it did not go well at all. So I have to finger prick every day, and my poor fingers are so sore. Like, I'm doing the sides, and I'm doing each finger twice on the sides. So far, I've only done it 8 times because these are the only 4 fingers I poked. I've heard stay away from the thumbs. They are ridiculous. And I heard stay away from the padding because it hurts too. I was doing the keto, following just like my coach. I have a coach, I have a doctor. Everything is like monitored daily because you're getting so far into ketosis. Like, here's TikTok level ketosis, and then here's medical level ketosis, and then here's like danger zone, right? So you're getting really deep into it. So you have to be monitored by dietitians, doctors, like the medical field, if you're going to go this deep into it. Now, I will say, being on the antibiotic, I didn't get sick. So that right there is validation that keto is probably for me. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. I have done everything that they're telling me to do. And on Tuesday, this is Sunday, by the way. On Tuesday last week, I was at work and I'm like, ooh, I am not feeling good at all. And I'm like, something's wrong. Like, just kind of an out of body, lightheaded feeling. And I'm like, something's wrong. So I tested my blood and it said I was hypoglycemic. And I'm like, okay, so my blood sugar is too low. And I'm like, okay, they've warned about this, right? Like, when you're getting this deep into it, you really need to be careful, right? Like, it's more than keto flu. It's a little like dangerous too. I'm like, okay. I literally bought a Gatorade and dumped salt in it and chugged it. And then what did I do? Oh, I had an Element, which is a drink packet. This is my little medical bag. We'll get into it in a second. But these are Elements. They're like little drink packets, and they have 1,000 milligrams of sodium in them. And so I was drinking one of these already, and I dumped more salt in it. I was chugging it, trying to like bring it up, right? And I started feeling a little bit better as the time progressed. I'm like, okay, cool. So I left work. I came home. I had a snack, pepperoni and cheese, because it's like a high fat boost right there. And then I was like, okay, I was feeling okay. I was better. I mean, it took a couple of hours, but I was feeling myself again. Okay, that was scary. Cool. So then Wednesday, I work from home. I'm doing great. My blood levels look good. And I'm knocking on Ketos's door, like knocking on it. And I'm like, I'm ready to come in, open the door, right? On Thursday, I was at work and I think I know what was causing it now, but at the time I didn't know. I'm new to this. I'm figuring this out as I go, right? So on Thursday, I'm at work and I'm like, I really don't feel good. Like, really, really, really don't feel good. And I was prepared, so I had lots of snacks, high fat, like instant bring my glucose up snacks and my sodium. I had all the salt drinks I could take and stuff. So I was prepared. I tested my blood. It said I was hypoglycemic again. I'm like, okay, I need to go home. And so I left work, came home. My job's super flexible. Like, it was time for me to come home anyways. Like, we work partly in the office and then come home and finish up anyways. So, like, that's no big deal. I came home and I was feeling better. And then I was like, I don't feel good at all. Like, really feel worse than ever before. And it was like a really weird, like, out of body weirdness. And I was feeling super nauseous. And I was sitting on the couch and I had already drank salt shot basically. And my fiance had come upstairs already. And I called him and I said, something's wrong. I think I'm getting ready to pass out. And he was down the stairs with me before I could even hang up the phone. So we put my legs up. By that time, I'm starting to go numb. Like, my legs are numb, my arms, I don't even know. They were like really shaky though. And I was super out of body. Like, I just did not feel good. And it was super scary. So I laid on the couch for a minute and he got me some apple juice and I drank that and my glucose spiked, obviously, right? And so I even checked it. I checked my blood right there while I was still laying down with my feet up. And after a little bit, I started feeling better. And I told him, I said, I feel good. I'm feeling better than I was, right? Eventually, I sat up and I finished my snack, which was a fatty snack. It was almond butter and celery. And then when I went to get up, I really had to use the bathroom. But just walking across the room made me feel like really lightheaded and stuff. So, anyways, progressed through the night. I was feeling better physically, but mentally, I was wrecked. I was so scared to go to sleep because falling asleep feels like what that feeling was. So that's kind of, I think that's, I've never passed out before, but I think that's how I knew that that was about to happen because it felt like I was about to fall asleep. Anyways, I was scared to go to sleep that night. This was Thursday night into Friday morning. And he got up and went to work the next day. And I slept like crap. Like, I did sleep a little bit, but it was not great. And it wasn't deep sleep. I was like freaked out. So that morning he called me, like right after he left for work, like right by the time I was waking up. And he was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, I'm okay. I was like, I was fixing breakfast. I was like, I think I just really need to eat and see how I feel at that point because I was still feeling like a lot of side effects from it was a hyperglycemic crash with low sodium as like a part of it, right? And so I was still feeling it a little bit. And I was like, all through Friday, I had vertigo really bad, like the lightheadedness and things like that. He ended up coming home Friday and spending the day with me, and I had tons of couch time, zero energy. And like with keto, like I have lower energy. That's part of the process. That's the keto flu part, is where your body is burning carbs, right? And then when you're switching to keto, you're taking the carbs away, and your body's going to have to switch its fuel source to fat. There's that point when your body's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to use fat as a fuel source, and you're not giving me carbs. So we're just going to bottom out there for a minute and figure it out until I can figure out how to use fat as fuel. I was already low energy anyways. Friday, I was like dead. So I just laid on the couch a lot. Saturday, I felt much better. Much, much better. But I was like, you know what? We're still going to chill. And today, Sunday, I definitely feel like myself. Now, I did carb out over the weekend. We even had homemade pizza and stuff like that. So, like, I definitely was not keto over the weekend. Today, I have planned my meals. I'm more keto than I was over the weekend, but I'm not medical keto level yet. This is more like TikTok version keto. That being said, going into round 2 of medical keto, I am way more prepared than I was last week. I have purchased a few things, and I'm about to show you what's in my new medical bag to help me get through this properly. So I've been taking magnesium forever. Did you know there's different types of magnesium? I just recently figured this out. So this is magnesium oxide, which does help in some ways, but you can only digest or like only so much of this. Like it's 500 milligrams, but you're only going to ingest like 4% of that or something. But this is magnesium glycinate, which is what my doctor told me to take for sleep. But it also helps with muscle relaxation, heart, nerve, and bone health. So I'm going to switch back over to the glycinate. Now, before I continue, this is not any recommendations. I'm not telling you to buy this stuff. This is just what I'm taking per doctors or per like dietary coach or just my own common sense type thing. But this is what I'm going to use to help me get through medical keto. So switching back over to glycinate. And then I told you about the element drinks. I have several of them in my medical bag. These are the emergency ones. And then I also have a couple of liquid IVs. These are half the sodium that these are. So I'm planning on drinking like one of these a day, the elements, and then going to switch over to like just I have a couple of liquid IVs, so I'm just going to drink those up. And then there's this other brand that is called VP, and I ordered some of those, so I'm going to be testing those out as well. Here's my prescription for my shoulder, just in case. It is an NSAID, so like I'm not trying to take it unless I absolutely need it. This is a probiotic that I always take with antibiotics. But I think I'm just going to start taking it daily anyways. It's not going to hurt. But this one, I love this one. I've taken it for years. And so it usually helps me get through antibiotics without feeling unalive for very long. And then I also decided to buy my first ever multivitamin. I've never taken one before, and I'm almost 40 years old, so I probably should have. But this one, I did a ton of research, and this one is keto friendly. And I literally just got it. As you see, it's not even open. But it's keto friendly. It's a 2 a day, and it's supposed to help with like all the things that I need, like the extra things that I need. So this one, just so you know, like do your own research, but this one's Thorn. So I'm super excited to start trying this and seeing how it helps me. Per the company that I'm doing this for, I have glucose strips and I have ketone strips. And then I have my little lancets, which are the needles. So I just take this part off. I put it in my pen, which is in here. I put this in my pen and then I take this little top off and then it stabs me. But here, I'll show you. So I have my little monitor right here, covering the name, sorry. And then here's my little pin. So I put the lancet in here. And then when I'm ready, and it gets my blood. And then I use my strips on my monitor. I have alcohol pads in here because you need to be sanitary. And due to some of the issues that I was having, I went ahead and just purchased a blood pressure monitor so I could watch my blood pressure, because I think that was part of the hypoglycemic, like my blood pressure was dropping too much. So I got this to go in my medical bag as well. Oh look, it's so cute. It has a little box for itself. Aw, that's cute. I think my bag is too small. This is a makeup bag and I love it. I actually have another one. It's a green one for my makeup itself. And I even bought my mom one of these and they're so nice. Like there's a little square ones and then they open up and they're huge. So I like that. But yeah, so I got me a wrist monitor. I have used these before, not this particular one, but you do it like this and you check it, like cool. So yeah, these are just some of the things that I'm going to be using to make sure that I'm staying healthy, because my health is way more important than any diet ever will be. Oh, that might fit. I think if I just work with it, it'll fit. So this is the things that are going to get me through this, hopefully. And I do see a huge difference already in the way my body's reacting to keto. I do think it's a great decision for me. And I think if I can just get my gut to go along with it, I will be perfectly fine. My dietitian and my provider said that what I'm going through is rare and keto's not this hard. Because I'm like, if it's this hard, I don't know that I want to do it. But anyway, so yeah, let's go make lunch.